In this video, I'm going to be showing you a brand new setup which has accounted for some mega carp for me over my last few outings. I'd go as far to say this could be the most perfect setup for any carp situation when you're out there on the bank. I've currently got one in the net already. I've just had an insane battle which went on for about 20 minutes. It went in the net and I've currently got Hound Dog Henry standing over him making sure the carp is going nowhere. But it looks an absolute belter, and yet again this is another one on this new setup that I want to show you. So without further ado, let's get the carp out, show you what we got, and then we'll sit down and we'll talk about this new setup which I genuinely think will help you all put more carp on the bank. My God, angry fish. Jesus, calm down, mate. Come on. So check this out, at 22.5 pounds. That is insane. What a wicked fish he is. That is as black as coal, and just a great start here for an overnighter, and it is an overnighter. I've literally got to be on my toes in the morning. But the reason for this session was to talk to you about this new method, and obviously proof is in the pudding, and I'm holding the pudding right now with this amazing looking mirror. So we're going to get this one back. I'm going to quickly show you the side of her, or him, and yeah, we'll sit down then and talk to you about this amazing presentation which is accounting for some ridiculously looking carp just like this one. I've had some great results which I'll show you, and then we'll get into this new setup and presentation. He is absolutely mega though, eh? And there's the other side of this amazing looking carp. That is insane. That is such a wicked fish. That is one of the nicest carp I've ever caught. Amazing dark colours and a proper character at that. Almost like a true leather. It's a beautiful fish, and it is really hot today. So I'm going to stop me waffling, get him back in the drink, and then we'll sit down and have that chat. But what a start, eh? Thank you very much. So absolutely mega chuffed with that fish. What a beautiful mirror that was. Black as you're at, black as coal, and yeah, it's always nice to get off the mark. And literally that rod was out for like 20 minutes, which was insane. And on this method that I've been messing around with and sort of not come up with, it's already out there. It's been out there for donkey's years, to be fair, but it's the manner in which you allow it to set itself, should we say. So for all intent and purposes, guys, there it is. That is the setup I've been using to good effect, but using it in a manner that it's not really meant for. So if you look at that there, you're probably thinking, well, okay, Dean, it's an inline lead with really supple braid and a hook bait with a Ronnie on. It's a PVA bag rig, Dean. What's new about that? But listen, basically it's how it's set up. So you're not using PVA bags with it, and it's how it allows it to settle. So going back to my sort of issue or problem, I grew up fishing really ancient silty meters. So getting a presentation in silt was always a bit of an head bake, whether you're using the stiff hinge or a chod rig, or something that's going to sit on the silt. And we always had our problem with the leads burying in the silt because of it being so soft. Now, in modern carp fishing, there is so much talk about having the rig sort of reset itself if you don't get a pickup. There's a lot of having the rig push away from the lead and having it all set out nicely and all that. And absolutely, that is the mechanics of a carp rig. For all that to happen, it definitely catches you more fish. But going back to my problem of fishing in silt, I just wanted a presentation that I didn't have to think about. And I was thinking, right, what could happen if you just use that setup? And I'm using like an inline lead in silt is an absolute no-no. And the reason for it, well, that lead's going to sink in the silt and you get a really poor presentation. Well, that's not the case. The best thing for me to explain it now is hit the underwater. So let's take a look at this rig underwater now. So have a look at that there. So same setup as I've got now, inline lead. I've got the PVA nugget holding the rig above where it should be. And what's going to happen now, guys, because it's a mega supple braid, the Reflex 20 pound is absolutely perfect for this presentation. As that PVA nugget melts and the rig now slowly sits down, boom, there you go. And that's what it's about. So it lands right next to the lead. It's perfectly presentation every single time. It can't tangle. And for me, that just sits over anything you cast it out on. I purposely have been messing around with it in silty Mias. It's very similar to the parachute rig that's been talked about, but the idea I like is it's having that supple braid, having that coil, and the idea of it, when it's dropping and it drops, that braid, because it's so supple, sits like a coil, almost like a coiled spring, if you like. And the idea of that, because it's sort of sat coiled, when the fish come in to pick it up, there is so much movement for that hook bait to fly right into the hook, into the fish's mouth. Now, if you're fishing like a boom section or a fluoro D rig, I think you miss so many opportunities because the fish can't get the hook bait in the mouth. I think how it feeds further away, you get some big fish with big guts on them. They feed completely different to smaller fish. They're further away from your pop-up or your bottom bait rig. If you're fishing a fluoro on those stiff booms, I generally think some fish struggle to get the hook bait in their mouths. With this style, because of that coil and it being mega supple, as soon as the fish sort of sucks the bait in, now whether the fish is an inch away or 2 inches away or 3 inches away, that hook bait is going in its mouth. That's happening because of that coiled spring, and because it's so supple, the Reflex, it easily flies into that fish's mouth. Now, if I go back to the underwater footage now, take a look at this shot. I've swapped over now to, I think I put a chod on this one as well. So I've messed around with like bottom baits and ronnies and chods and all of them, but have a look at the lead in this setup. So the lead here has buried into the silt, and that was the scenario I was faced with when fishing these silty Mias and having the lead plug in. And what I like about it now, with the lead plugged in, there's even more resistance to hammering that hook home when the fish feels that hook. It goes to pull, it's got to pull the lead now out of the silt, and it's still feeling the weight of the lead as well. So it's almost like a double whammy of hitting that hook home in the bottom lip every single time. Now, if you look at it there, as the PVA melts again, it sits down on top of the lead is under the sill, and that rig is sat on top of it perfectly. Again, once again, coiled up perfectly, ready for that pickup. Now, this works brilliantly on silty Mias. That is what I've had the fish on today. I've had a few fish in the past on this as well over the last sort of 5-6 sessions. Now, if I'm now thinking about going to really weedy waters where, you know, you've got little tiny holes in the weed like the size of a football, you haven't got the area for having those rigs to kick away, because as it kicks away, it's kicking into the weed. So if you're going over in boats and having these tiny holes in the weed, you can literally lower this rig in, knowing that when that foam has melted, it's going to be sitting directly on top of that lead in that tiny hole. So it lends itself to fishing really weedy waters as well, really silty waters. You could do the same. I'd be quite happy to get on this on the sand pit at S&R Fishery, because I know some of their lakes have got, you know, some of the sand in places is really pluggy, and the leads do get into them. I've been trying to reel in the morning. I'm really trying to pull the lead out of the sort of soft sand. So again, I think this rig lends itself to that scenario. It was designed and sort of tested and messed around with on silty Mias. Now, this is nothing new. I'm not saying I've created anything. I have not. I know there's probably lads out there who have said, I've been doing this for years, but it's very similar to the parachute rig, and that's what I like about it. But in terms of presentation and anti-tangle, as long as you're casting it out with the foam nugget on, you ain't getting any tangles whatsoever. And you know, every time you feel that lead down and it bumps down, you know that that hook bait is sitting directly above your lead. And as soon as you see the foam hit the surface, you know it's sitting pretty. And then as the foam hits the surface, it's a perfect sight bob then to fire a few boilies over it. If you're within catapult range, you can then, to be fair, I know quite a few guys who are pretty good with the spod and they can see it and they can put a spod over it as well. You know, there's all scenarios like that, but for catapult range, it's absolutely ideal. Like I say, it's accounted for this fish that I've had today, and I just generally think it's a great presentation. No nonsense, no messing about. It's not fancy. There's not all Meccano stuff to set it up and this, that and the other. It's none of that lot, but it is really, really effective. And I've had really good results on it. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut you back to last week's session, fishing this rig, fishing this setup in a really, really ancient Shropshire mere. I had this fish. Check this one out. Oh guys, what a fish we've got here. An absolutely mega looking common. And this one going 31.4 of dark Shropshire common, taken on that parachute setup, which allows the lead to plug into the silt, and then the hook bait settling back down again has accounted for this one. Oh, check him out. What a fish that is. Amazing. I'm fishing a really silty mere, this being one of the residents, and that method has been the downfall of this one. That is an insane looking common, and I am buzzing with him. 31.4 of Shropshire, beautiful common, mega, absolutely mega. Oh, I seen this fish many years ago in photos, and I dearly wanted to catch him. Our hound dog's in the shot now, and yeah, to get him finally is just incredible. Such a wicked feeling when it all comes right, and that method is working for me. So I'll quickly spin this little fella around. I'll show you the other side of this awesome looking dark common. What a fish, eh? What a fish. So there you go, a setup I've been using to good effect over my last few sessions. Now, it is stiflingly hot at the moment, hence why I'm in some trees, taking a bit of shade. The swim is so warm, but I am here for the night, so the rods are back on their spots. We're all angling, we're all topped up with bait again, and here's hoping we may hopefully get another before we go. So I will keep you posted through the night, and if I don't have anything, I will speak to you in the morning. Well, a very good morning from me and Hound Dog Henry here, who's having his morning skitches and fusses. Always has a fuss in the morning, don't you, mate? But guys, it is given to get up to 30 degrees today. Pressure is like 10.36 at the moment. Horrible. It's not my sort of fishing weather. I don't like fishing in the heat. He definitely doesn't like fishing in the heat. So yeah, it's been quiet. I really thought we'd have one after that quick bite yesterday. I thought I'd have one sort of, you know, through the night, or maybe first light this morning. It's just gone 7 AM now, and I've literally got to start packing up in the next sort of 15 minutes really. So yeah, it's one of them. We'll dust ourselves down, go again, but got to be happy with that really cool looking mirror. Absolutely mega looking one, that black as you like. Really chuffed to land that one. But with the method we've been talking about and showing you, just give it a go on one rod. Just one rod. Next time you're out, give it a go. If you're fishing some really silty areas, or where you think the presentation might not be too great, or it's got a lot of choddy bottom and stuff like that, give it a go. It also works really good in margins as well. When you're fishing under branches and you've got all those branches on the bottom as debris, and you haven't got to think about how it's lying and how the rig kicks away, give it a go on that as well. Those sort of scenarios work wonders for this presentation. So definitely give it a go on the next outing, and let me know how you get on. That'll be really cool to know how you're getting on. Other than that, just got to say a massive thank you for watching the film. I hope you enjoyed it, and please give us a like and a subscribe. And from me and the Hound Dog, thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.